time there. We move away from the Middle East and head now over to North America, where President Donald Trump has once again lashed out at Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell following the Fed's decision to keep interest rates unchanged for the fifth consecutive meeting. Trump took to his Truth Social platform calling out Powell. Trump doesn't think he is fit to be in charge of the central bank. In the post, Trump criticised Powell for being too late and too angry and too political to effectively serve as Fed chair. Well, this latest attack comes as the Federal Reserve faces mounting scrutiny over its handling of the US economy amid inflation and sluggish growth concerns. Well, with us to discuss this spat, but also the ramifications of the interest change, John Rossimondo, a president of the Viking Research Associates and a geopolitical analyst who's joining us live from Washington, D.C. John, as always, a pleasure to have you on the programme. Let's first look at this spat that is taking place between Powell and Trump. Trump vocally saying that he wants Powell to resign, reports suggesting that he would try to fire him. How do you see this relation moving forward now that Powell is clearly not doing what Trump wants with the interest rates?
Well, let's put it this way. There's a long-standing feud between Powell and Trump. Trump appointed Powell in 2018. Powell has a personal animus against President Trump. And let's not forget that the Fed, under Powell, was responsible for the largest printing of U.S. dollars in American history that created the inflationary bubbles that followed the pandemic. So President Trump is angry with Powell because he will not reduce interest rates to stimulate the economy.
Yes, and why is that something that Trump's so key on? Of course, something that he's mentioned multiple times. Could you provide us some context on what those drop in interest rates would do for the US economy and why the Fed is choosing not to do that?
Well, if they were to reduce interest rates, it would make investments more affordable. Mortgages would come down. It would, President Trump is a real estate guy, and it would stimulate a real estate boom that would stimulate the economy. If you look historically at the American economy, real estate has driven the economy.
Yes, and John, very quickly before we let you go, I'm just looking for a short answer here. Do you think that Powell will make it to the end of his term, or will Trump remove him in a way that he can?
Trump is looking for every means necessary to remove Powell as Fed chair. Coming up with, accusing him of corruption and of other improprieties that would allow him to fire the Fed chairman. Otherwise, under U.S. law, the president can't do so.
Yes, John Rossimondo, thank you ever so much for taking the time to speak with us and providing that insight. We move on now, though, and Myanmar's ruling military junta has